Yo, welcome to the devlog for Juice Galaxy 0.2.0. Uh, this update's it's two in one. It's partly about making the car destructible, and it's partly about making the creator boss less bad. So I'll talk about the car first. It was OP. Last update I made it so that you can actually pick it up, put it in your inventory, and use it to fight any boss. But you're invincible inside of it, so it was overpowered. So what I did is I made a nice little metal deformation shader that you can see here. Whenever you get bonked, the car gets all janky for a moment, and as your health goes down, which you can see in this new fancy health bar up here, your car gets permanently dented. So yeah, it's pretty cool, right? The car is no longer indestructible, and you heal it by doing stunts, like what I just did. You get some air, and you do a couple flips, and you land on your wheels, hopefully, and the more flips you do in different directions, and the less crazy your landing is, the more points you'll get, and therefore the more healing you will get, and yeah. This is the function right here that sort of shows how stunts are graded. It's kind of hard to understand in this form, but the easy way to look at it is it's just a big fraction, with the top line being the numerator and the bottom line being the denominator. So the numerator is the number of flips you did multiplied by the diversity of those flips multiplied by the distance traveled, and the denominator is the sum of 1 plus the roughness of your landing plus the time it took to do all that stuff. And to elaborate, the style value here, the flip diversity, is it'll be 1 if you just flip in one direction. Like, you can do 1,000 front flips, but you'll only have a style multiplier of 1. But if you mix in a back flip, it will go up a little bit. And if you mix in barrel rolls in either direction, it will go up even more. So you want to flip in as many different directions as possible while also maximizing your flip count. It's kind of what it's a balancing act. And then the scuff value is calculated by how much the body of the car slams into the ground before the wheels do. You want to land on your wheels first to minimize your scuff value. Yeah, I think that pretty much explains it. There are a couple tricks to actually getting off the ground in some cases. Like you saw just there, I was on flat ground, but I managed to jump the car. And the way you do that is, I'm sharing it because it's a little counterintuitive. I don't even understand how it works. It's just a weird result of the physics system I programmed. You go really fast, turn slightly, roll into your turn while also trying to do a front flip, and for whatever reason, that kind of yoinks your car off of the ground, and you end up rocketing upwards. So that's a trick I've been using a lot when I'm fighting bosses like the Wasp Queen or the Creator. So yeah, car is destructible now, and we have a stunt system to heal it. If you don't do any stunts and your car dies, it will explode and do a bunch of damage to everything around it, besides you, of course. Um, and then it becomes undrivable. You can still pick it up, like, whoa, frame rate. You can still pick it up and try to drive it, but it won't let you in. If you press the button you would normally press to like get into it, you'll actually spend 1,000 juice to repair it, and it's good as new, and you can blow it up again if you want. That's kind of an interesting way to kill things, honestly. Yeah. Besides that, I've buffed the car in a couple ways. The turn radius is double when you're moving at a slow speed, and I just did that to make it easier to like navigate when you're in tight spaces. And I've made some physics improvements. Oh, I also buffed the rolling power so you can do flips more easily. Jeez, leave me alone. The maximum rolling speed is doubled, and the rolling force is doubled, so flipping should be easier. And I added a checker for when your wheels are underground. Sometimes you'll like fly up and land really hard, and you'll land so hard that the wheels actually go through the ground and they just stay stuck underground because the physics engine doesn't really know what to do about it. So I wrote a raycast to handle that case, and it seems to be working. Yeah. So let's go check out the creator, which is the other half of this boss. Sir. We've got a squeaky trapdoor now. Very nice. And I did a pass on this dungeon to sort of just bring it up to a basic level of quality. I hadn't really changed it since, I still haven't really changed it that much, but I hadn't really worked on it since the first update of the game, and it was just looking really outdated, so I changed the ambient around a little bit to this pleasant green color, and I updated the spawns. This guy always spawns here. So does this guy. This is Skinny. He's a stroll fiend who's been in the game for a long time. Updated the spawns, so there are some random spawns, and then there are some manual spawns that always spawn. I gave Signy some new dialogue options that kind of explain a little bit of context about the creator and this cave, but nothing too specific, because I'm still like trying to decide on some things about the story, so just a little bit, just a little taste. And yeah, let's make our way a bit further. That's a Giga Clown. I don't recommend killing him. He spawns like 100 clowns when you kill him. You fight your way down here to the main chamber, which I have remodeled. Some of you will be sad to find that the pink castle thing is gone, and like I may reuse it, but for now I felt like I had to change it because it was really misleading. The entrance to the boss room was really out of the way and hidden, and it was much easier to find a portal. There was a portal home right about there that people would see as soon as they come in, and they would just enter it, and then they would get teleported home, and they would be really sad because they didn't know that would happen, and they would have to walk all the way back here. So I got rid of that, and I added this statue, this sort of red carpet, to really make it clear where you're supposed to go. I'm also just really pleased with how this statue turned out. I gave him some fingers and a tongue, and I used Blender's remesh modifier to make it look all blocky, and yeah, I also used the same sort of shader that I use for the overworld, so you can actually see the road material right here, which I left because it makes it look even more blocky, like this is a pyramid or a statue that was built in tribute to the creator. Anyways, let's go check out the reworked boss through the esophagus. You can use the car to get down there faster. Put this juice fountain here because I keep getting killed. And hopefully you guys will too. Hopefully you'll have fun with this. So I reworked the creator. I made his physics. I made his physics a lot more fluid, and his body makes sense. At some point in development, his spine got rotated 90 degrees, so his feet were on sideways, and he was like crab walking and tripping over himself. And his shooting animation was really bad, so I reworked all of that from the ground up. I gave him a couple new attacks, like this walk storm, and he also has a charge attack that he does right after, like that. The secret to beating him, because he can kill you in like one hit a lot of the time. The secret to beating him is to just be really aggressive and sort of kill him before he can kill you. If you keep him ragdolled by just... Nice. If you keep him ragdolled by just beating the hell out of him, he won't be able to shoot at you very much. And, yeah, that's the trick. I may have made it look easy, but this is attempt like 30 of the devlog. So, I was actually pretty desperate to kill him before he got me. I'm trying to keep this devlog short, so that's pretty much all I'll show of him. He's still pretty much the same dude. I just went through and I fixed some glaring issues with him and the area around him, and I think he's much harder, and I'm actually worried that he might be too hard, since he's often going to be the first boss that people face. But maybe that's a good thing. Elden Ring did a really cool thing with Margit, where he's like the first real boss you face, and he just completely crushes you until you finally give up and then go decide to find a better weapon. So maybe that's what will happen. Otherwise, maybe people will get frustrated with the floppy physics of this game and decide that it sucks. So we'll see. I'll be watching the Let's Players. Yeah, so those were the two main features of this update. The stunt system, car destructibility, and the creator revamping. There have also been a lot of other random improvements. I buffed polywogs. I made them run a lot harder. And I fixed Hellgrazer physics. Turns out the colliders for the Hellgrazer's face, nice, were actually floating behind it by like 20 yards, so the physics were like really dumb. So I fixed that. Hellgrazer, I still haven't actually programmed the AI, but I've always planned on having that thing crawl around and eat corpses. There's one over there. Always planned on having them eat corpses, so at some point I'll get to that point. Let's talk about plans for the future. I want to go through a couple other bosses and just fix some problems with them. One of the first that comes to mind is Mrs. Slithers. She's pretty janky. The sword is like, the Dragon Slayer doesn't even stay in her hand a lot of the time, and she doesn't really have any cool attacks. So I'll be looking at her, and I need to fix the Wasp Queen's AI so you can spawn her in the overworld. And yeah, there are like some monsters that I'd like to give some real attacks to, like ranged attacks or charge attacks and stuff. So I'll be doing some quick passes on those. They won't take as long as this creator update has. This update kind of took a bit longer too because I needed a break. And so I actually took a couple breaks while working on it, and like learned some new skills and stuff, and like took a step back and looked at the big picture of what needs to be done to get this game ready for the Steam release and stuff. So that's like part of why it took so long. Next update should come out a lot sooner. Besides working on the bosses, doing the quality pass, I'm partly doing that as like a warm up, so I can like make some new bosses and like some new monsters with some cool new attacks and like their own specialized physics. I really want to work on the story. I've said this 1,000 times. It's hard. The story is really hard. Level design is hard, and like voice acting and actually writing a compelling story. I've been putting a lot of thought into all those things, and I've made some progress behind the scenes that I haven't really wanted to show quite yet. But that's coming up. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all there is to say. Let me think for a sec. Yeah, let's keep this devlog short, I think. Oh, I'm also working on some like business stuff. I have the website halfway done. I have some merch halfway done. I initially thought I'd be selling t-shirts, but now I'm like a little worried about the production line, and whether or not it's like exploitative or damaging to the environment, because I don't really want to profit from stuff like that. So I think I'm planning on selling stickers and posters mainly, and not t-shirts. And I have some like cool ideas for toys that I can make with my 3D printer. I've already sort of shown off some plastic polywogs that have like chain legs that I think are really fun to play with. So some stuff like that's coming up as well. Yep, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks everybody for playing, and I hope you enjoy getting smushed by the creator. Next update should come out within the next month, maybe sooner. Hopefully sooner. I'm pretty stoked to be productive again. So yeah, have a good time, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.